Labvakar. Augsti godātais valsts prezidenta kungs, augsti cienītā Saeimas spīkeres kundze, augsti cienītā pat Izraēlas vēstniece kundze, ministri, ekscelences, dāmas un kungi, draugi. Tas, kas notika Izraēlā sestdien un dienās pēc tam, ir aprāta neaptverams, un asins stingzinošās ainas, ko mēs redzējām, laikam nevajadzētu komentēt. Vārdi būtu lieki. Honorable Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, Ambassador, Excellencies, Ministers, friends, the horrific scenes we saw in Israel over the weekend, I don't think they need any words, and I don't think we'll comment. Mēs sāksim šo Izraēlas atbalsta pasākumu. Mēs palūksim Arkādiju Suharenko iedegt sveci pa piemiņu tiem cilvēkiem, kas gāja bojā. Un pieminēsim visus tos cilvēkus ar klusumu brīdu, and honor their memory with a minute of silence. Paldies. Thank you. Vārds valsts prezidentam Kīviča kungam.
Cienījamā Saeimas priekšsēdētāja, Izraēlas valsts vēstniece Latvijā, ekscelences, mīļie draugi. Es domāju, ka šodien šeit mēs esam sapulcējušies pirmkārt, lai izteiktu stingru atbalstu un solidaritāti Izraēlas tautai, Izraēlas valstī, to cilvēku radiniekiem, kuri ir gājuši bojā absolūti brutāla uzbrukuma rezultātā. Ļaunumam nav robežu, ja ļaunumu neaptur, tas uzbruk. Un tas ir noticis šobrīd Izrēlā, brīdī, kad Hamas teroristi iebruka Izrēlā, sāka slepkavot un nogalināt nevainīgus civiliedzīvotājus. Un tas, ko mēs šobrīd redzam, tas, kas šobrīd parādās gan sociālos mēdījos, gan presē, arvien brutālāku noziegumu fakti, arvien šaušalīgāki noziegumi, tikai apliecina vienu, ka mums visiem kopā, gan Latvijai, gan Izrēlai, ir jācīnās pret ļaunumu, jebkurās tā formās. Mēs labi redzam, kas notiek mums pavisam tuvu kaimiņos Ukrainā. Mēs labi redzam, kas notiek šobrīd Izrēlā. Mums ir jāsaprot, ja mēs neapvienosimies, ja mēs necīnīsimies, tad šis ļaunums turpinās uzbrukt. Es domāju, ka mēs visi esam vienoti tajā uzskatā, ka Izraēla ir tiesības sevi aizstāvēt, Izraēla ir tiesības atbildēt, Izraēla ir tiesības cīnīties pret šo ļaunumu. Ambassador of the State of Israel, Excellencies, dear representatives of the Jewish community of Latvia. What we have witnessed since last Saturday, the brutal attack of Hamas terrorists against innocent civilians of Israel, against the people of Israel, shows that the evil has no limits, that evil, if it's not stopped, continues to attack, continues to spread. All the facts, all the evidence that we are now seeing that is emerging through social media, through traditional media, all those horrific facts of many innocent civilians killed show that if not stopped, the terrorism continues to spread. If not stopped, if we are not united against the evil forces, against terrorists, then actually we start to lose this war. We have already quite experience of our near neighborhood in Ukraine. We see that at this point the same evil continues attack in a different part of the world in Israel. I think that we are all united in understanding that Israel has the right to defend itself. Israel is doing that. And it is also our duty to support the state of Israel, the people of Israel in this rightful attack. Šodien es tiešām gribētu teikt, ka mēs visi esam kopā ar Izraēlas tautu. Mēs visi noliecam galvas godinot upurus, un mēs pilnīgi noteikti turpināsim atbalstīt mūsu Izraēlas draugus. Today we are all here to mourn all the victims of this brutal attack. Today we are here in solidarity with the people of Israel. And today we are here to reiterate our continuous support to our friends from Israel. Thank you.
The Israel's president is Isaac Herzog. The president of Israel is Isaac Herzog.
As President of the State of Israel, I speak to you now from our capital city, Jerusalem, under the dark shadow of war, as my nation continues to endure a savage attack from a cruel and inhumane enemy. To my mind, not since the Holocaust have so many Jews been killed on one day, and not since the Holocaust have we witnessed scenes of Jewish women and children, grandparents, even Holocaust survivors, being herded into trucks and taken into captivity. Hamas has imported, adopted, and replicated the savagery of ISIS, entering civilian homes on Holy Day and murdering in cold blood whole families, young and old, violating and burning bodies, beating and torturing their innocent victims, Jews and Muslims and other faiths. The brutality, the inhumanity, the barbarity of monsters, not humans, monsters. Over the past days, I have spoken with leaders from around the world who expressed their deep outrage at the attack, including Vice President Harris, Secretary of State Blinken, the heads of the EU, the UN, NATO, and other closer to home, like my friend President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. I call on all nations around the world, first, most importantly, make clear and loud condemnation of Hamas's actions, just as you have condemned the abhorrent and unspeakable actions of ISIS, because today they are one and the same. Second, those nations that have yet to do so designate Hamas in its entirety as a terrorist body. Third, make clear that Hamas carries full responsibility and accountability for the well-being of the hostages it has taken and demand their immediate return to Israel. And fourth, support Israel in words and in deeds. Israel, for its part, will continue to defend itself. The government of Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu, the IDF, and all of the Israeli security agencies have my full support. We will act with full force and unwavering commitment to eliminate this threat to our people. We will pursue all those who perpetrate and support such grievous acts against us. I know the Israeli spirit will overcome. Unfortunately and sadly, there are hundreds of bereaved families all around the country and thousands of injured being treated in hospitals all around the country. Today and yesterday, I met some of the wounded in Hasafa Ofeh Shamir Hospital and Beersheba Soroka Medical Center, some of the best medical centers in the world. If you ever want to witness the great spirit of my nation, The great spirit of the nation of Israel. You can see it in hospitals and elsewhere around the country. You will find a people united and committed to prevail together and come out victorious. Let there be no mistake by any in the region who may consider operating against Israel. Israel is a very strong country and will employ all its might and strength to defend itself and its people. I pray for the swift and full recovery of the injured. I pray for the bereaved families, and I pray for the well-being of those taken hostage. And through all this, with the solidarity and support of our brothers and sisters in Jewish communities all around the world, with our friends and allies all around the world, I know that Israel will emerge stronger, more resilient, and united. As President of the State of Israel, I speak to you now from our capital city, Jerusalem, under the dark shadow of war, as my nation continues to endure a savage attack from a cruel and inhumane enemy.
Es, Izraēlas valsts prezidents, uzrunāju jūs no mūsu galvaspilsētas Jeruzalemes. Šajā drūmajā brīdī, kad mana tauta turpina ciest no brutāla Hamas uzbrukuma. Kopš holokosta laikiem es nevaru atminēties brīdi, kad tik daudz ebreju tautas cilvēku, bērnu, veco ļaužu, veselu ģimeņu būtu nogalinātas vai aizvestas gūstā. Hamas ir pārņēmis necilvēcīgās ISIS prakses, ielaužoties civiliedzīvotāju mājās, svētku dienā, augstasinīgi nogalinot veselas ģimenes, spīdzinot savus upurus, necienot pat mirušos. Un neatkarīgi no to ticības, vai tas būtu jūdaisms, islāms vai cita ticība. Necilvēcība un barbarisms, lūk, ko demonstrē šie monstri, ne cilvēki, monstri. Šajās beidzamajās dienās esmu sazinājies ar līderiem visā pasaulē, kas ir dziļi sašutuši par šo brutālo iebrukumu. Starp tiem ir viceprezidents Haris, valsts sekretārs Blinkens, Eiropas Savienības apvienoto nāciju, NATO līderi, kā arī tepat tuvāk mums kaimiņos mans draugs apvienoto Arābu Emirātu prezidents Muhameds Ben Zayeds. Es uzrunāju visas nācijas pasaulē. Pirmkārt, skaidri un noteikti paudiet savu nosodījumu par Hamas rīcību, jo tagad tie, līdzīgi kā tas bija ar ISIS, jo tagad viņi ir kļuvuši par to pašu. Otrais, tie, kas to vēl nav darījuši, atzīstiet Hamas kā organizāciju par teroristisku. Trešais, sauciet Hamas pie pilnas atbildības par viņu gūstekņu dzīvību, veselību un labklājību. Un ceturtais, atbalstiet Izraēlu vārdos un darbos. Mēs, Izraēlas valsts un Izraēlas tauta, vienoti ar pilnu manu atbalstu, esam gatavi darīt visu, lai novērstu, lai likvidētu šos draudus, lai katru, kurš tajā ir iesaistījies, lai neviens nepaliktu nesodīts. Izraēlas gars uzvarēs, mēs esam stipra nācija. Un šajās dienās es lūdzos un esmu jau ticies ar uzbrukuma upuriem. Labākajos pasaules medicīnas centros pie mums Izraēlā ir tūkstošiem ievainoto, kas ārstēs. Ir simtiem ģimeņu, kas pārdzīvo sēras. Es lūdzos par tiem, un es zinu, ka ar visas pasaules līderu, demokrātisko līderu atbalstu mēs, Izraēlas tauta un valsts, uzvarēsim un no šīs krīzes iznāksim vienotāki un stiprāki. Paldies!
Paldies! Latvijas Republikas Saeimas priekšsēdētājs Mieriņas kundze. Speaker of Latvian Saeima Mieriņas, Mrs. Mieriņa.
Prezidenta kungs, vēstnieces kundze, Jūsu ekscelences, cienījamie klātesošie, mūsu sirdis un domas šajā brīdī ir kopā ar jums.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, Madam Ambassador, and everyone present, our hearts and minds are with you in this moment.
No Gazas joslas uz Izraēlas pilsētām dažu dienu laikā raidītas tūkstošiem raķešu, vēršot tās pret civili iedzīvotājiem, skaidri demonstrējot nodomu nodarīt pēc iespējas lielāku kaitējumu, pēc iespējas vairāk cilvēkiem, apdraudot visus nevainīgus cilvēkus jūsu valstī.
These days, thousands of missiles have been launched from the Gaza Strip towards cities in Israel, clearly targeting them against civilians and demonstrating the intention to produce the greatest harm possible to as many people as possible and threatening innocent people in your country.
Mēs skaidri un nepārprotami nosodām šos uzbrukumus. Nav neviena saprātīga iemesla, kāpēc nevainīgi cilvēki, tostarp bērni, ir jāpakļauj šādai traģēdijai.
We clearly and unequivocally condemn these attacks. There is no sensible reason to make innocent people, including children, suffer such a tragedy.
Terorisma izpausmes, kādas pašlaik piedzīvojat, ir nepieņemamas un ir klajā pretrunā ar starptautiskajām tiesībām un cilvēktiesībām. Teroristisku grupēm rīcība ir jānosoda vienmēr un visur, un tās darbībai jāpieliek punkts.
Acts of terrorism that you are currently enduring are unacceptable and in clear contradiction with the international law and human rights. The actions of terrorist groups have to be condemned everywhere and always, and they must stop.
Cienījamie klātesošie, arī mēs šodien Saimā veltījām klusuma brīdi teroraktā bojā gājušiem.
Today at the Saima, we also held a moment of silence to honor the victims of these terrorist attacks.
Un šodien Saimā vienbalsīgi pieņēmām Saimas lēmumu par atbalstu Izraēlas valstī.
Today at the Saima, we also unanimously adopted a decision in support of the State of Israel.
Mēs šeit esam, lai jūs atbalstītu ar dziļu līdzjūtību un cerību uz mieru.
We are here to support you. Please accept my deepest condolences and hope for peace.
And now we have mums tagad ir tiešsaistes savienojums ar Izraēlu, vienu no cilvēkiem, kas pārdzīvoja tās šausmas. Now we have direct link, Zoom link to Israel with one of the persons who survived. Tal Buxman.
Hi. Hey everyone.
Can you hear us?
My name is Gal. I'm 27. I'm from Tel Aviv. First of all, I want to say, Am Yisrael Chai. We will win this. We will be united, and we will wait for better times. I'm a survivor from the party. We were 4 friends who just, went on to a party to have fun on the last day of the holidays on Shabbat. We arrived around 4:30 to the party. It was magical, organized, good vibes, love and peace. Everyone knew everyone. It's the same ages, plus minus. We were on the dance floor until 6:30, which is when we saw a bombardment of around 250 missiles coming in from Gaza to Israel. Now, sadly, as we all know, this is the reality in Israel. This is what we are regular to, and we were not afraid when this happened. The police started to tell us the party's over, we need to evacuate. And this is when I think the fate of each and every one of us, not individual, but with the friends you came with to the party was decided. This is just horrific for me to say that, but the decision between you and your friends, just, you know, this is, if you and your friends wanted to leave early because you were panicked, or you thought to leave with a car when there was bombs, then you were probably murdered and slaughtered on the roads and on the streets. If your friends and you decided to stay last, you know, to calm down after you were raving and you had fun, amazing fun, then you're probably raped, kidnapped, and murdered at the party. So there was a small window which, you know, it's just luck. It's a miracle. I can't explain the feeling afterwards. We decided after around 30-40 minutes to get in the car, to get in the traffic jam because the roads were closed from both sides, and just to drive into a new route the police opened. We successfully were able to get on that route. There were around 300-400 cars in one column, and we were driving around 5 minutes. You have to understand the whole time I just explained to you, there is shooting, bombings, you know, chaos. I'm just, you know, I'm saying it calm, but you have to understand this was insane. We are hearing bullets flying around us. We're hearing screams. We're hearing people fall. I can see in my eyes the chaos behind me. We are in the car, we were driving, there are 400 cars. We see the tip of the line starting to U-turn. So the first cars are starting to U-turn. And this is where the chaos, the real chaos just erupted, because everyone just started to U-turn and to understand there's no way out. We see around 1,000 people just running amok, you know, just running wherever they can. We decided we have to leave the car and just run for our lives. We were 4. So every group had to be together. You know, we had to see their friends are coming with us. We ran for like 25 minutes without looking back, just checking we are together. You know, and I have around 25 people who I know who are murdered, kidnapped, injured, people who were, you know, butchered in the party, just butchered. People who came to have fun and to enjoy life were just slaughtered in that party. It was horrific. We were successful to run to a place where the terrorists did not come. We walked around 4 or 5 hours until we arrived to a settlement where there are no terrorists. In the entire walking part of those 4 or 5 hours, we were with 2 policemen. We understand the chaos in that moment because we are walking on a small mountain and we see Israel is burning. It was like, you know, doomsday, like a zombie attack, like the end of the world. All the movies we've ever seen, it just looked the same. The policemen are telling us that there is hostages in settlements. There are attacks on every city in the south of Israel, and there is chaos. People are just afraid, that they're afraid for the people they have left behind them. From stories I'm hearing now from survivors, from other survivors, it's just miracles. There's no other word. People have seen their friends getting murdered next to them, just getting, you know, bullets in the head and just laying next to them, and they had to hid for another 5-6 hours. Now, this reminds us of specific years where Jews had to hide and were scared from their religion, from their country. There wasn't a country at that time, but from their religion. And people just hid, and my thoughts were, what will happen to those friends who came, you know, with other groups. I can tell my sister's husband was there. He was shot while trying to escape in the car. There were 4 in the back and 2 in the front. He got a bullet from the AK-47. We were all combat soldiers, so we know, you know, guns, and we were in service. he got a bullet from an AK-47, which ripped his leg and then went through to the friend in front of him and hit his back, which he died on point. This is the kind of horrors people had to suffer. This is just insane. You know, it's hard to pass it on. I think I still did not digest what I suffered or where I was, how it started when it was 6:30 and I had a great time and we had fun and it was magical, to 40, 50 minutes afterwards, running for my life, you know, after I was raving. This is just unexplained. It's just insane.
Thank you.
Mēs domājam, ka tulkojums laikam nebūs neiespējams, ne varbūt vajadzīgs. Cerams, ka viss izprat tās šausmas, ko pārdzīvoja cilvēks tajā brīdī, kad viņš bēga, skrēja un redzēja, kā viņa draugi tiek nogalināti. Thank you, Gal, for sharing, if you hear me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Izraels valsts vēstniece Šarona Papalgi, Ambassador of Israel, Šarona Papalgi.
Hello. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, Speaker of Saima, members of Parliament, Excellencies, so many people and friends and Jewish community who came here to support us tonight. We know, and even more important, we feel that Latvia stands with Israel, and this is extremely important to us. Israel was hit in an unprecedented way. Never in Israeli history I remember such a terror attack with its brutality and the amount of casualties. We have more than 1,200 people dead, and we're still counting. More than 2,000 injured, still counting. Dozens who were kidnapped into the Gaza Strip. The atrocities of this is unreal. You feel like it was taken from a horror movie, and I don't want to repeat all the terrible images we're seeing in social media. But you all know what I'm talking about and what we mean when we say Hamas is ISIS and they are one. I think we should all unite also in the call for Hamas to release all those kidnapped. They have no business in holding a 9-month baby. His name is Kfir. No business for 3-year-old Yali. No business for all these teenagers and women and elderly who were taken out of their bed, some of them in wheelchairs. They have no business in holding them. This doesn't make any sense. I am shocked to my core. I'm sad and I'm angry, and my heart and the people of Israel's heart is really breaking. But I want to tell you, our hearts are breaking, but our spirits are not broken. And this is something you should know about Israel. This is why when we have a war in Israel, unlike other countries, people fly back to fight for their home. They're struggling to find any kind of flight that will bring them to fight for Israel. This is why we have this amazing volunteering spirit where people, you know, different individuals, societies, they all come up with this initiative to support the families who were injured, to support the soldiers, to make sure nothing more is needed. And we are doing this because we find it a very important cause to fight for our home, the only democratic state in the Middle East, and the Jewish national home for all Jews from all over the world. This is a very important cause to fight for. Hamas leader he was interviewed 2 days ago, and he said, you know, the Jews, they cherish life, but we send our people to die as martyrs. This is the huge difference between us and them. This is what puts us in the camp of civilization and them in the camp of barbarism. And we will not join that camp. We will keep cherishing the value of life along with our friends from the civilized world, with our allies that make us stronger, allies like Latvia, like all of you here. And I want to thank you very much for being here tonight, for showing solidarity It's extremely important, and you strengthen us. Thank you.
Paldies visiem, kas ir atnākuši šovakar mūs šeit atbalstīt. Un tie nav tikai vārdi, mēs tiešām jūtam, ka jūs mūs atbalstat. Es nevēlos ilgi atkārtot visu to skatus, kas līdzinās kā šausmu filmām, kuras mēs redzam sociālajos mēdījos no šīs brutālā uzbrukuma. Tas ir bezprecedenta uzbrukums tā nežēlības upuru skaitā un arī tas, ka joprojām desmitiem cilvēku ir gūstā. Mēs uzskatām par absolūti nepieņemamu un nepieļaujamu un šokējošu to, ka joprojām gūstā ir 9 mēnešus vecs bērniņš, 3-gadnieks, cilvēks, invalīdi ratiņos, ratiņkrēslā. Tas vienkārši ir prātam neaptverami, un mūsu sirds lūst domājot par to visu, bet mūsu gars nav salauzts. Un Izraēla demonstrē spēcīgu gatavību aizstāvēt sevi, cīnīties par sevi. Cilvēki no visas pasaules atgriežas Izraēlā šobrīd, lai aizstāvētu savu valsti. Un ar tādiem sabiedrotajiem kā Latvija, kā visā pasaulē valstis, kuras mūs atbalsta, mēs noteikti spēsim uzvarēt. Nesen tika intervēts Hamas līderis, un viņš pieminēja par to, ka jā, Izraēla svinēja dzīvi, bet mēs savus karotājus cīnam nāvē. Jā, tā ir radikāla atšķirība, kas mūs, kā vienīgo tuvo austrumu valsti ar demokrātisku iekārtu, ieceļ civilizētu nāciju ģimenē, un Hamas ir starp barbariem. Es vēlreiz vēlos pateikties jums visiem par klātbūtni un atbalstu, būt stipriem un darīt visu, kas no mums ir, kas ir mūsu spēkos, lai šo izbeigtu un lai Izraēlas tauta būtu uzvarētāja šajā.
Paldies. Latvijas Ebreju kopienas vārdā uzrunās Davids Lipkins. David Lipkin on behalf of the Latvian Jewish community.
Godātie klātesošie, godātais valsts prezidents, cienījumā vēstniece. Katru gadu mēs tiekamies pie nodedzinātās Rīgas horālās sinagogas, lai pieminētu holokaustā kritušo ebreju atmiņu un arī, lai nepieļautu holokausta notikumu atkārtošanos. Neticami, ka šogad 7. oktobrī Izraela piedzīvoja holokausta notikumiem pielīdzināmu, barbarisku, necilvēcisku, prātam neaptveramu Hamas teroristu grupējumu uzbrukumu no Gazas. Tūkstošiem teroristu ielaužoties Izraēlas teritorijā, nogalināja, sagūstīja Izraēlas pilsētās, kibucos, visus bez ierobežojuma, šāva bērnus, sievietes, vīriešus, ievainotos gūstīja, kā pateica vēstniece, sagūstīti ir arī bērni, zīdaiņi, 9 un 3 mēnešu vecumā, kas ir neiedomājami, prātam neaptverami. Es gribētu arī atzīmēt to, ka pirmajās 2 stundās, pāris stundās Izraēla brīvprātīgo cilvēku un arī pašaizsardzības spēki un Izraēlas policija izrādīja drosmīgu pretošanos, pašaizliedzīgu pretošanos teroristu grupējumiem, kas spēku ziņā un apbruņojumu ziņā vairāk kārt pārspēja viņus, un vairāk no viņiem arī šajā varonīgajā cīņā krita. Pieminēsim arī šo upuru atmiņu. Gribētos pateikt, ka aiz šī cietsirdīga, nežēlīga uzbrukumā stāv valstis, kas ir ANO dalība valstis, un tā ir Irāna. Tā ir valsts, kas gadu desmitiem noliec Izraēlas tiesības uz pastāvēšanu un aicina uz Izraēlas iznīcināšanu. Diemžēl arī vairākās, praktiski visās arābu valstīs iedzīvotāji arī tajās valstīs, kas noslēgusi miera līgumus ar Izraēlu un kas nodibinājusi diplomātiskās attiecības ar Izraēlu, cilvēki ne tikai nenosodīja to, kas notika, bet arī gavilēja un arī priecājās par to, kas noticis. Latvijas Ebreju kopienas vārdā es gribēju pateikt, ka Izraēlai ir viennozīmīgas tiesības uz pašaizstāvēšanos, kuras leģitīms mērķis ir Izraēlas pilsoņu, iedzīvotāju dzīvības, veselības un arī drošības nodrošināšana un cilvēku aizsardzība. Es gribētu atgādināt, ka 30 gadu Hamas režīma, 20 gadu Hamas režīma pastāvēšanas laikā Gazas joslā tur nebija pat mājienu uz mēģinājumu gāzt Hamas režīmu. Un tas mums jāatcerās, sniedzot proporcionālu un godīgu un nepieciešamu atbildi uz šiem brutāliem uzbrukumiem. Es gribētu arī pateikt, ka mums šeit Latvijā jāsaprot, ka jādod skaidru un gaišu atbildi uz islāma fundamentālismu, kas noliedz citu cilvēku līdzdzīvošanu ar citiem cilvēkiem, citas ticības cilvēkiem, ar citas ideoloģijas cilvēkiem, ar citiem ārēji izskata cilvēkiem. Jo mēs šobrīd, šodien nepalīdzēsim, neatbalstīsim Izraēlu arī ar aktīvām darbībām, tad mēs varam gatavoties un noteikti piedzīvosim to, ka šāda veida slaktiņus mēs redzēsim šeit pat Eiropā un arī šeit pat Latvijā. Es gribēju atgādināt, ka nevar salauzt ebreju tautas garu un Izraēlas tautas ebreju, kas dzīvo Izraēlā, garu. Un noteikti tiks panākta viennozīmīga uzvara šajā karā. Arī Rīgas Ebreju kopienas, Latvijas Ebreju kopienas vārdā gribētu visus aicināt piedalīties piemiņas un lūkšanu par tiem, kas tika sagūstīti šo sestdienu 8:00 pie Brīvības pieminekļa 14. oktobrī. Dear Excellencies, the President of Latvia, the Ambassador of the State of Israel, every year we gather near the building of the former Horel Synagogue to commemorate the memory of people perished in the Holocaust and to avoid the repeat of things that we saw here 80 years ago during the Holocaust. This year, in 21st century, 7th October, Israel has suffered from the brutal, barbaristic attack of Hamas terrorists from Gaza. Under this attack, a lot of people were murdered, kidnapped to Gaza. Men, women, children, elderly people were killed. Wounded people were taken as hostages to Gaza. The small children of 3 months, 9 months old were kidnapped and are held in Gaza in horrific circumstances that any one of us can imagine. I want to emphasize the heroism of those people who met terrorists and who for the first few hours was fighting the terrorism before the IDF forces came to support them, and I want to commemorate their memory. Also, I want to say that behind this barbaristic attack is standing such states as Iran, that is denying the right of Israel to exist, and who is for 10 years is asking for the destroy of State of Israel. I want to say also that in a lot of Arab states, including those states who signed peace agreements and formed diplomatic relations with Israel, the population is not only accusing what's happened, but also glorifying and is happy for what happened for this horrible attack. We also want to emphasize that Israel has the right to defend itself, and want to emphasize that for 20 years the inhabitants and the people of Gaza didn't make anything to change the regime and the Semitic, xenophobic regime that exists there. And we support the right of State of Israel to defend itself and give the proportional and fair fight against the terrorism. I want to say that here in Latvia we need to understand the threat of Islam fundamentalism that denies different people, people of different beliefs, people of different ideologies, people of even different outer appearance. If we will ignore this and if we don't support the Israel now, this is going to happen in Europe and also here in Latvia very soon. Also, I wanted to invite all of you this Saturday, October 14, 8 p.m., to the meeting dedicated to memorize those who passed away and to pray for those who was kidnapped and is now being held in the Gaza by the terrorists. This Saturday, October 14, 8 p.m. You're all welcome. Thank you.
Rīgas synagogas rabbīns Eliyahu Krumer. Rabbi of Riga Synagogue, Eliyahu Krumer.
Es noskaitīšu dažas tīļiem, dažas psalmus, ko šajās traģiskajās dienās skaitā sinagogās visa pasaulē, lūdzoties par noslapkavoto cilvēku dvēselēm, lai viņi atrastu mieru Dieva troņa priekšā kopā ar mūsu tautas praviešiem un lūdzoties par visiem ebrejiem Izraēlā un visā pasaulē, lai Dievs saglabātu mūsu drošībā un dotu mums ātru uzvaru par visiem tiem, kuriem, ja viņiem tikai būtu iespēja priecīgi svinēt to drausmīgu slāktiņu, ko viņi ir sataisījuši. Shir lemalois esoina el hecharim me'ayin yavo ezri ezrimeim adoinoi oisei shomayim v'oretz alitein lamoit ragelecha al yanum shoymerecha hinei aloinum v'leishon shoymer Yisrael Adonai shoymerecha Adonai tzelecha al yad yeminecha Yamam hashemesh alekeko ve'erech baloilo Adonai yishmorcha mikol roho yishmor es nafshecha Adonai yishmor tzeischo ve'yecha me'ato ve'ad oilo El malei rachamim Shoichein b'amroimim Hamtzeim chonechoino al kanfei shechino V'maloi z'gdoishim uthorim kezohar rakiem eschirim Es nishmoi sacheinu b'nei Yisrael Shenirtzechu al yedei mechablim imach shmom v'zichrom Shechalchu lo'olamom ba'avur שאון מספלים בעד אזכרס נשמעסיהם לכן בעל רחמים יצראים בסייסר כנפוף לעולמים ויצרור בצרור החיים נשמעסיהם וינקום לעינינו דמם חשפוך אדוני הוא נחלסום וינוח בשלום על משכבם ונאמר אמן אחינו כל בית ישראל חנוסנים בצרו ובשריו, חמדים בין ביום ובין ביבשו, חמקוים ירחם עליכם, ויצאם מצרו לרווחו, ומאפל לאורו, ומשבוד לגאולו, חשת בגולו בזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן.
Izraēlas valsts himna. Paleva beni nefesh Yehudi homia ulfahatem mizrach kadima ein Zion Sophia Od lo adekvateinu, adekvam machno eldot alhaim, hoi atseohesh, hoi atseinu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim, Ehud Atzeohu, Yehoyatzeinu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim. Latvijas valsts himna. Dievs svētī Latviju, mūs dārgo Teviju, svētī Latviju, ak svētī to. Dievs svētī Latviju, mūs dārgo Teviju, svētī Latviju, ak svētī to. Kur Latviju meitas dzied, kur Latviju dēli dzied, lai mūsu laime zem mūs Latvijā. Kur Latviju meitas dzied, kur Latviju dēli dzied, lai mūsu laime zem mūs Latvijā. Paldies visiem, kas bija klāt mums šajā pasākumā, bet pirms mēs noslēdzam, es gribētu ebreju kopienas, visas Latvijas ebreju kopienas vārdā pateikties Latvijas valstī, Latvijas prezidentam, Latvijas saimai, Latvijas policijai, Latvijas drošības policijai par to, ka mēs jūtamies šeit droši un ka visi tie draudi, ko mēs dzirdam internetā, sabiedriskos mēdījos, viņi mūs nav skāruši. Paldies jūs vēlreiz visiem, ka jūs bijāt kopā mums šajā traģiskajā brīdī. Before we close, I would like to thank, on behalf of the Latvian Jewish community, I would like to thank the President of Latvia, the Sejm of Latvia, the police of Latvia, the security police of Latvia, every citizen of Latvia, that we feel safe, that all the threats that we have heard and we have seen on social media do not apply to us. Thank you.